Alright, so I've just started an Equestria game, and I switched to Solar and got most of the continent, and now I think I'm ready to invade another continent. I've not been paying much attention to what's been going on over here. I saw a couple of news and events saying stuff was happening, but wasn't really paying attention. And I've already noticed that there's a new focus for the Solar Empire to take on Zebrica, at least one country. So that's a nice intro. Now, will I be able to navally invade? It looks like it's kind of out of range, not for the submarines. Now I can actually pay attention to what the industry is like. They've got 80 factories. That's now crusade. Interesting. Oh, what's this? Oh, they've got a lot of specialized economy types. Got a cartelized economy. No non-vital personnel. 21% population. What's that like compared to all adults? No scraping the barrel. It looks to be a bit better than all adults serve. I think there was something else there. Also, in the Great War, I didn't get to make much use of those impossible mountains. I basically held them off and only got pushed back this far. Oh, here we go. And then when I started pushing in, I didn't really go into Olinia. I just went straight for their capital and it won like that. When I was wrapping up the rest, it was something of and actually it did actually have a factor in fighting when I was fighting the other ones up here. Anyway, and now let's invade the new continent. I didn't check what their navy's like. They've got only 2 heavy ships, and that's cruisers. Oh, that is a pathetic navy. I was building up a navy. A big navy. Really modern navy too. Oh. Let's get our foothold. Someone has joined someone joined the war as our enemy. Were they in a faction? I should have been looking at that. Yeah, Nanti-Aros Axis. AAA. What was it? AAA is the thing that helps you with cars? Or is that... Yeah, I think so. What's this? I think I saw a white piece earlier, so maybe this is... There was a scripted peace deal. Anyway, so I'm dealing with actually quite a lot of people. So do they have a navy to make up for it? Got... oh, that's a lot of submarines. Oh, well, it's uncertain. Yeah, I don't know. try and find out. And then the other guy is landlocked, so don't care about him. And no one else. Just very big wing party. Yeah. 2 river federations. Anyway, yeah, let's call in the rest of our big alliance. What's the first naval battle like? We're trying to stop our convoys. Let's block off their coastline. That's a very long coastline. It's building up this island for the launch. Oh, and I still don't have enough range to attack them. And they're navally invading our puppet now. War on 3 continents. Let's see, so we're fighting on kind of planes and it's interesting little local bonuses. So plains, urban, hills, not too hard of a terrain to fight in. Very little defended. Looks like it'll be an easy landing.
Advance.
And we've landed. First step on Zebrican soil.
Answering call. Neither snow nor rain can stop us. Magic makes us strong.
But we do not have a port yet. Just build one up. Oh, naval invasions are just... they're either just easy or impossible. Well, that's a lot of divisions dead.
Answering call.
Set up another one. This time we'll actually invade a port. Just got a massive industry now after getting the entire continent, and you know there's not much to spend it on. Is this a... no. It's wing parties. Maybe it'd be easier to get onto the continent by just invading wing party. Then we'd take their colony. Let's just do a mass assault of naval invasions. Or do we hit the limits? Maybe we should do some of that naval invasion technology. I mean, that would make sense. Okay, attempt 2. Okay, we've got very good knowledge on their navy now. They only have 7 heavy ships and 12 submarines. It was estimated at like 200, was it? It's not a very good estimation. How good can you get at estimating submarines? Yeah, I think we definitely have naval supremacy. It's just the range is the problem. Oh, and Maryland's doing their own invasions. Okay, can we take the port? It's the first port. Very appropriate that we're taking it first. Does not seem to be working. Oh wait, they own these islands? We could do some island hopping. It'd probably be a bit easier, maybe. We can just about reach the coast now. But maybe this is a bit closer. Yes, we can reach all of the members of their faction. Yes, so they import a lot of steel, and they get it from their ally and Wing Bardi. So definitely we'll be stopping that with submarines. And the rest is mostly on their own continent, so we can't stop that with submarines. If we bomb them, does that take out infrastructure which makes them produce less resources? Even better strategic bombing. Where's oh no, napalm's on the other side. But it's nice. I mean, I like the idea of napalm, but it's just not as good of a... I'm not quite sure what that does, but I wouldn't... I think this just seems a bit better. I think Bardi sure is making a lot of money off of this war. Okay, so we've got a slightly closer base to launch from. Don't have enough range on our fighters though. Alright, third time's the charm. It does not look like it. Do I have to actually research marines and build a marine division? Or we could declare war on this person? No, they're in the Carthan Pact. Declare war on them. How big's their army? Can't tell. They've got a big navy, but that might actually be a worthy opportunity for our navy. Like, we can hardly use it. So, but do they have a land border? No, it looks like it's an island. So we could try. We naval invade this island. We take it. Then we've got a base to throw casts around at the other islands. I think that might be the best idea. Only 10 days for justification. It is faster to justify than it is to prepare the plans on the island. Right then, that looks good. And then we'll just do it now. Seems like pretty well defended.
Our lands must be preserved.
If we can cut off the railways, that might hinder them.
Moving out.
All those submarines just holding up our convoys, they didn't kill any, but it just staggered out our encounter, so it takes a while for us to actually show up all at once. Yeah, this is pretty difficult. Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess I'll have to get some marines, which is just inconvenient, and I've got to research it and then train them. Maybe I should have made some heavy fighters for the range. I suppose while we're training up some Marines, we might as well keep trying. You know, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then yeah, it's something to do. Yes, I've got intel. Why I completely forgot about cryptology. That's like the main thing. It makes naval invasions easier. I forgot about that. Well, here we go. So we've got a foothold. Well, if we fail, we've started down the Marines, so the next one should be a lot easier. And, you know, any casualties we cause them here would... Oh, now we're encircled. But we've got the port, so... No, I'm not gonna lose these tanks, so just go back up here. Ooh, Lama Bet's at war. Who's this big kingdom now? Some deer. Pride of the South, but it's in the north of the continent, but I guess kind of southern. It's kind of in the center on a global scale. That's a lot of... Oh, they've got a unique focus tree as well. Huh. There I was thinking it was just over here. Okay, we get nuclear bombs in 200 days. We'll see if we can invade them then. There should be a name for nuclear assisted naval invasion, because I've seen it before in Hoi 4 games. More strategic bombing. And we get bonus range. Bonus range for everything. Can we actually fly some fighters now? Alright then. Oh, where are we on now? Fifth time? Fifth time's the charm. Okay, well, off to a bad start, but we're getting the port easily. And that was a failure, so just stop it and don't even land, you'll just get encircled. So difficult, eh? And I will not actually even be able to nuke them because we've got no air superiority. Maybe we should try and find a very weak nation that doesn't have a lot of troops. No troops sounds very good. Well, and then we can, you know, fight on land. Oh no, it's a puppet. They only have at most 24 and a very long coastline. Maybe we could invade them, and it'd be a very long trek on land, but it'd be easier than naval invading. Switched up their route. I don't know, we'll give at least one more try with the naval invasion first. Oh, Lama Bet was annexed. Now they're very big. Oh, look at how many nuclear reactors we're building at once. And there we go. We've got our first nuke. Now we just need to be able to get it over there. And decipher. Already is our second nuke, making 3% a day. That's, 33 days?
Ready to do our part.
Oh, even with the non-marines, we're getting a good green arrow on the port. Good feeling about this one. But have I just jinxed it? And we've landed on the east side.
Answering call.
Just make sure that
Answering call.
they
Moving out. How do I hold a gun with you?
spread out.
Move out.
Oh, we've got the port on the east. That looks good, and then we'll have 2 ports, and then, yeah, there's the second port.
Our lands must be preserved. Neither snow nor rain can stop us. Moving out.
I think we've got this one now. This should still be a bit careful.
Ready to do our part.
Don't want to mess up. It cannot pierce our armor. And well, now that we've got this lovely airport on the island, we don't need to invest into all that range. We invade and we immediately start improving the infrastructure. They should be thanking us.
Answering call.
And we took out their pride of the navy. Just really looking forward to when we get the air supremacy and we can just start unleashing nukes on them. It's mostly for revenge now, because they were so annoying to invade.
Ponies at the ready.
And the cavalry arrives. Mechanized cavalry, that is. And they only have 300 fighters. What are the others like? Can't tell, but somewhere in the thousands. Oh, they've got 22,000 planes. And it's... wait. Oh no, it's 22,000 manpower in the planes. They only have around 1,000 planes. And who's the other guy? This one has no planes. What do they contribute to this alliance they're in? They only have 6 factories. It's not even... good thing they're out of range of my bombers. It's not even worth bombing. And speaking of... barely been bombed. Greener now. Shall we nuke them? I think so. This is for not letting me invade you easier. Oh, of course there'll be custom text. Atomic bombing of Mount Eris. Although several North Zebrican cities have been sacked or destroyed by warfare in the 11th century, many thought that Mount Eris would be protected by its position on an island. However, the sea could not be safe from the city. No, the sea could not save the city from the attack it suffered today. Solo bombers managed to break through the United Kingdom of Eris's air defenses and drop an atomic bomb directly onto the mountain. Initial damage reports are still coming in, but it appears the Mount Eris has been completely devastated Many buildings were destroyed, and damage to the mountain itself has left others structurally unsound. Fires are still burning across the harmonizing heights, and radioactive debris will likely render the area unsafe for quite some time. The attack has stiffened the resolve of some Erisons to fight until the Solar Empire is defeated, while others despair that the paradise created for them by the gods was destroyed by mortal arms. The mountain shines no more. That was good. Yeah, I totally forgot that, there's custom text for nuking cities. Imagine if there was this lengthy text for nuking Firewood. Or Squawkwood. Waterstone, Howlington. And it's mostly just the big, capital cities. Maybe some of other importance, like, historical cities. And what did that do for their resolve? They're 69% toward capitulation. I don't think that did much. But make it a bit easier to actually take the mountain, right? Yeah, look at all that. It's got nuclear fallout. Oh yes, of course. This is what. Oh, look at all the damaged factories. The Hippogriff capital of Mount Eris fell to the solar forces last night. Last night? No, it's about midday. Days of furious shelling turned the villas and verdant parks of harmonizing heights into dust-choked ruins, and the gouges in the ground left by the bombardment ruined the unique acoustics, meaning that the heights will never sing again. Elsewhere, was it singing after the nuke? Elsewhere, fierce close quarters fighting up the slopes of the mountain made the streets into streams of blood, and the entire units were burned as pieces of the city sloughed off under shelling and slid down the mountain like avalanches of cobblestone and broken homes. As enemy forces closed in the Capitol building, Queen Nova was evacuated via tunnels under the mountain. Queen Nova was sworn to continue the war from Sequestria and retake and rebuild Mount Eris. The mountain bows to the storm. No, to the sun. It's like, oh yeah, and there it goes. She vowed to keep fighting, and then she's like, actually, I just remembered that we do still have 2 more nukes. Another newspaper. United Kingdom of Eris has capitulated. United Kingdom of Eris has announced its total surrender to the Solar Empire. Solar forces, along with a number of independent artisan supremacist supporters. Is this generic? Yeah, I think this is a generic one. They sink beneath the waves. And shall we annex them? Get a nice big Solar Empire. Let's just annex them. And here we go. Now we've got a nice little air base. This is all you're worth. You're just an air base. Get a lot of fighters. We can start nuking the mainland. Get a lot of cast down. That should make just naval invasions like simplicity itself. With that 1,000 casts, and they'll just open the doors. Well, no, we'll atomize the doors and pretend that they opened it for us. Okay, and then yes, let's get There's no straits, so we do have to naval invade again. Using marines is kind of overkill now that we've got all those, all that cast now. Just a little hop over the channel. Would you call this a channel? I don't know what the definition of a channel is, but I mean, given how close that is, I'd say it should be. And green air already. Let's go straight for the capital, and then we'll have to read out another. Anyway, not enough air supremacy. Just give it a minute; it'll get up there. 1,000 fighters. Where'd they get all those fighters? We don't know how many they have, so get the fighters from elsewhere. Go straight for their capital. And immediately you've got air superiority. It's just cheeky because they've not moved around their troops. I mean airplanes. And Colthage gets nuked. Few cities have a closer connection to antiquity than Colthage, the heart of Zonican civilization. However, the city's rich history did not deter the Solar Empire from making it a target. Yeah, just wanted to, nuke them. I mean, the newspapers are to blame for this horrendous act. They were making such interesting newspapers that I just wanted to see what would be in the headlines. Ancient target of the citadel walls did not protect Colthage from the full might of a nuclear weapon. In an instant, thousands of souls in the city's centre were wiped away. The destruction fanned outwards, causing more damage and consuming more lives. Even the famous round harbour's massive foundations cracked and gave way, the sea swallowing a structure which had defied it for so long. A few zebras who survived the blast must now begin the desperate search for their loved ones as the mushroom cloud dissipated. It started to rain. They say Xanath wept. I guess that's a god, or maybe someone that made the building. Is that the guy in charge? No, I don't know who Xanath is. Does it say in his biography of the city? Guess I'll have to play through them and maybe I'll find out. For 1,000 years of history destroyed in an instant. Yeah. And they just mentioned zebras, so I just remembered. That was one of the things I was looking forward to when for this coming out, because of what's it called? Fallout Equestria. It's about Equestria versus zebras and a nuclear exchange. So, who are the zebras that need to be nuked? Just down the center. And over here. Hey, it's Zongo. Zongo in the Congo. Oh yes, now New Maryland's invading and they might actually have a chance now. That's a nice little shaped island there. Anyway, here we go. Let's get on to the main continent now. Oh yeah, that reminds me, I was going to check up, does this new addition to the map also count as Zebrica? How do I click on here? So, Echo Zebrica, this is, yeah, so are they a part of it? In our, what's this, to be added? Seems there's going to be an extra 4 continents. Anyway, they're harmonic. And what's their name? Porto. No, so they're not in Zebrica. They're in Equus. Yes, they are in Equus. So, is there a map mode that shows which continent it is? No, it isn't. Well, I assume, so obviously, yeah, I mean, it's closer to Equus, but at what point is it different? Like, less Loyus? Is that in Zebrica? Less. I don't see it. It is part of less merchants. It's in Equus. So this is part of Equus right down here. And then I guess that's as far as it goes. So this is part of Equus. And are they griffins? Yeah, they're griffins. So there's a new nation of griffins on Equus. It's not just the colony up there. And so what's their deal? Got a generic focus tree. Anyway, that's it's interesting. Nice to know the boundaries of the continents. Why are they so disorganized? Oh my, look at all the factories he blew up. I guess they mostly had them in their capital. Yeah, this should be pretty easily, now that we've got a foothold. And let's nuke them before... Oh, don't you take that city. We're gonna nuke it first. Atomic bombing of New The state of Chiropian Commonwealth has always been one of the most secretive societies in the world. But there is no hiding what has happened today. After gaining control of the skies above the Imperial Mountain, the Solar Air Force dropped a nuclear bomb on New. It is difficult to accurately assess the damage since Chiropian Commonwealth refuses to release any information. But what little we do know suggests the situation is dire. Scattered reports tell stories of thousands fleeing for their lives, with some even claiming the Chiropian government is preventing creatures from entering or leaving the area. The city's Moonspeaker Temple and the elaborate stained glass image of Nightmare Moon contained within have almost certainly been destroyed. Some observers have taken this as a sign that the goddess has abandoned their most loyal followers. The Nightmare could not save them. Now this is really appropriate for this playthrough. Like, even if we weren't being quite as a burn everything to the ground Daybreaker, I think at the least she would do that. I'm talking about being a very secretive. I think I saw something about shadow government or invisible state. So I guess that's the idea, that this state has really been secretive for all these years. That's how they hid from Equestria, and really keep with that secrecy even now. And when someone drops a nuke on their city, they don't want to release any information. That sort of denial of something so obvious kind of reminds me of. I feel like they're gonna say the war has not necessarily developed to their advantage. They're pushing us back, but we're getting reinforcements now, and we've still got like massive cast, right? Yeah. Oh, 61. Wow, that is a huge number. Yeah, no, there's nothing for that they can do. Though they do seem to be doing something. They can't pierce us, but we are quite low on org. Is this in... No, this is over here. Fallout. Ace Pilot produced. Oh no, have we lost... We've lost the port, have we? This is the port. They're walking in. This isn't good news. How much can cast save us? This might just be a massive encirclement. Oh no, we've got we took it back, but we've got to be a bit careful now. Just make sure we don't get encircled. Let's actually get some more people in to naval invade. Yeah, we're really low on orc. Why are we so low on orc? Well, we just got encircled there. 100,000. That's a massive encirclement. Wow. I mean, I don't think I've managed to encircle someone like that. I mean, I know I probably have, but yeah, that's a big encirclement. And like, I'm kind of impressed for them. I suppose that should just be shame, because I managed to get myself to lose so much. Oh my. Drop another nuke. No news event for this historic city? It's a phoenix city. Well, yeah, then they don't have to worry. It'll rise from the ashes. The atomic ashes. They've still got a lot of factories. Around here seems the most dense. So, can we strike here? And yeah, we took out maybe 5 factories. It's not too much. Can we nuke here? What's the city? Moonspeaker Hollow. It sounds lunarist. It's lunacy. Now it's shadows. Actually, that's something. That's an idea. You know the whole when you nuke someone and then you know that haunting image where they just had their shadow left behind and they were gone. And you know, these bat ponies are kind of like vampires, and there's something about like them kind of being detached from their shadows. So maybe you could kind of do something about that as a joke, or just maybe even something funny. Not funny. Well, the joke is funny, but something interesting. I don't know. This is very. What's the opposite of dense? Actually, yeah, that's the thing. No, I've asked this question myself before. What is the opposite of dense? Was a single word that means not dense. Like, you can say spread out, but no, what is one word? You can't say undense, or is there some word? It feels like there should be a word. They really need to go around the island there. And here we go.
Ponies at the ready. Moving out.
Look at all those, that crossroads of so many railroads. And get a support nuke in. Tactical nuke incoming. Such a lot of land. Like, just the volume of land, but it's very, that word again, not dense. So we're doing 12 cast damage. Now they've got so many divisions. Oh, look at this, like 140 divisions, now we nuke it, and it's, that should be a lot of divisions down. It also goes with Fallout, so they're taking more attrition. Let's just nuke them again. New Kingdom in the north. Oh, the Arbitrarily Order. Oh, they won the against those guys. Is this completely victory, or are they gonna get taken over by Wendigos? Oh, missed the nuke. Is this an encirclement? Yeah, they're getting popped off.
Ponies at the ready.
Okay. Ready for yet another naval invasion?
Ready to do our
And we land uncontested. Very nice.
magic makes us strong.
What's the population? Just 1.5 million. The fall of new acolytes or whatever. After extremely brutal street-to-street fight and domicile-by-domicile fighting, the city of this thing finally fell to solar forces. Despite bloody battles and intense close-quarters combat, most of the defenders either fought to the death, and those few that did not fled to avoid being subdued and captured. Meanwhile, many areas are heavily strewn with booby traps and makeshift blockades, causing more issues for the occupiers. There are already reports of Cherubipian holdouts and raiding forces causing guerrilla disruption and through supply lines, and urging the remaining populace to take up the fight and resist with tooth, fying in their very lives if necessary. Finally, this blight has been subdued. Finally they capitulated. After 1,000 years, the nightmare is over. Didn't you already say that? Daybreaker announced the cowardly Chipperui nation could no longer withstand pressure. Yep, though the war against what remains of the anti-Eris Axis continues. Why are they still called the anti-Eris Axis when I did what they couldn't? I took out Eris, I nuked Eris. Yep, let's nuke their little capital there. Shizra. Oh, the desert flowering. Have carefully tended to their homeland for centuries, digging canals and reservoirs to ensure the little rain that does fall in the desert is not wasted. Well, well, now you'll get some of that, what was that, black rain that comes after a nuke? It was made of ash, and it gave everyone radiation poisoning. Very hot and fallout. Not only is it hot, but... Oh yeah, and it's hot, so since we're at war with them, they should get the scorching sun, yeah. So no, it's very hot, and it's fallout, and it's your war with the sun goddess. It's nuke Asgat, or Hazmat. Oh, more desert flowering. Not as much now. Replace those desert flowers with mushrooms. And say goodbye to those 7 factories. Oh wait, I meant to click this one. Is this a different one? Oh, it is. Oh. Was it close enough? It wasn't. Oh, I misclicked. Oh, sorry. Don't you hate it when you nuke the wrong city? How is their industry? Oh my, what is that? Did we bomb more factories than they had? Yeah, look. Total factories 5, damaged factories 6. How is that possible? Ah yes. Fall of Colthage. On this day, the ancient port city of Colthage was fully occupied by solar troops. The city's garrison, largely consisting of urban citizen militia, had to be subdued by force in a brief but brutal battle. BBBB. And The attackers had tried to use small coastal ships. The attackers, that's us. No, we've got a huge, look at that, we've got 3 carriers, we've got 3 battleships. The attackers tried to use small coastal ships to attack the city's famous harbour, but were repelled by a makeshift fleet of warships. Therefore, the harbour area was attacked by land, and Solar soldiers broke through, entering the city from the harbour and systematically securing control of the city. The defenders retreated to the Temple of Zanet. Oh, was that guy that they mentioned earlier? Yeah, so I was right, it was a god. And continued to fight until all hope was lost, then burned down the temple and around them. Reports that the victors salted the earth around the city are most likely false. I mean, we already nuked them, so I think, there's not much, I suppose, yeah, it's most likely false because there's not much point, but if we hadn't nuked them, you wouldn't put it past us. Salting the earth sounds like a waste of good salt. Let's be ready to nuke them. How primitive are they? Well, that's that war that we first started finally over. And so many choices that we're just going to annex. Very nice. And this Khanate is actually a developed science base. A modern society. Ruled by a Khan. Very interesting. Oh, is this a impassable desert? Oh, it's not as wide of a front line as I thought.
Ready?
We should build that. We shall build a great railway from coast to coast. Mittel Zebrica. I almost feel like it's just overkill to nuke them, but I just have all these nukes lying around, and you know it's going to be hazardous for my health if I don't use them. I guess after a point, newspapers would just stop publishing. Yeah. Daybreaker nuked another Zebrican city. It's stopped being news.
Our lands must be preserved.
Maybe they figured out that I'm doing this for their attention. So easily done. That's an angry zebra. Okay, we'll be fighting through some mountainous terrain with even some impassable terrain. And we're very far beyond our supply lines. Oh, if it comes to fails, I can always just... I've been building a lot of transport planes. So if we airdrop supply over here... I can't tell how much that gives since that's in enemy territory. As I put it over here, then that's really good supply. This tiny, only 50,000 village in the desert is gonna be nuked like the rest of them. You know, I wonder, we've got the Storm Kingdom down here, and there's a lot of deserts. Is there an Operation Desert Storm reference somewhere in here? Oh, Wing Party demands New Maryland, does he? We can fight a pure power, and we'll probably get the other part of the new continent. Or we can just give up this random piece on this old continent, and then we'll also not have a chance to get this one. Oh, that's a It's a lot of troops. Yeah, I just don't really feel like slogging through this massive all the way. Probably have to fight up to here. Yeah, I don't think I'll do that. It's funny, you know, I'm complaining about like all these wars against primitives they're too easy, and then we get someone that's very powerful, and I don't fight them. Yeah, we should let's get Mergypt. If we've got to have a limited number of the days it takes to justify just keep getting higher and higher. Anyway, if there's one country out of I'd like to have in my Zebrican crown, Mergypt is definitely one of those jewels. I mean, I don't know anything about them, but just the name. Very cheap land. Those just deserts. Oh, we've got a new event, decision. We can set up a puppet in Cheerthopia. Get through resistance, though we've already dealt with that. They lose some people, I suppose we're purging them. Yeah, we make a wasteland. We rename First Port to Port Inferno. Abandon ye hope, all who enter here. No one will dare resist our superior authority. Well, kind of breaks up what I was going for, owning everything directly, but it's some new content, so I'll check it out. It's so small compared to what they were before. Solaria, run by a high court. Wow, absolutely nothing. Not even a generic focus tree. Wonder if we were able to take that decision when we had capitulated them, but before we took out the faction. That might have been able to kick them out completely. They had some bonuses to resistance, and maybe this would be the answer to that. If you didn't want to just shoot everyone, you'd hardly pick this option if you wanted to be nice. Like, it did just kill a bunch of them, didn't it? Ooh, a mountain city. Well, like, 2/3 of this territory is impossible. It looks like, oh wow, they're a pretty big empire, but no, they're just this little thing here. Oh, it's Somnambula. That's nice. I didn't know that would be in Mergypt. It's no, it's Meadowbrook that is in this country. I don't think. Well, I suppose if she's going to be in any country, she'd be in this one, wouldn't she? Well, I guess we're gonna nuke Somnambula. Affect their entire front line with radiation. It's so nice that radiation respects the border. You think we outfit the armored cars with radioactive, like, yeah, uh, the armored cars are made of lead, for to block out all the radiation. Here goes Mergypt. Bye bye, Somnambula. Not newsworthy, apparently. But they've got a big navy.
Our lands must be preserved.
We're just using all the constant nukes as like flashbangs, or maybe at nighttime kind of as flares, to send up to night up for the night attacks. I don't even have any strategic bombers up, and we're getting nukes past. Oh no, it just has to be in range. We don't have to have it deployed to the area. And there we have it. Ocean to ocean. It takes 40 convoys to go all the way around. All the way around the south. Just barely passing by through a strait that everyone can go through. No, we shouldn't have to take ships to go around the continent. We shall build a great railway. And finally, now we can free up the troops to deal with them. Oh. Immediately dying. Oh my. Wow. Fastest way to lose the navy without deleting it. With all this fighting, I'm just kind of bashing my head against their giant armies and nuking them and using overwhelming amounts of chaos. But, if I was a bit smarter, I could just do some naval invasions. I definitely have the navy for it. And, actually micro and make sure that we're not getting constantly encircled. But, if it works, it works. I think this really proves we're a superpower when we can fight a two-front war on a different continent. Here we go. That should be the end of their industry, right? Yeah, it's mostly gone. One last nuke. Actually nuking the lakes this time. Not so great when it's irradiated. They still have most of their factories. Is that where all their industry was? I'm surprised at this point, no one over on Griffonia has gone to war. It's pretty peaceful over there. Wing Party's not done anything. And they've not gone for the crown. Quelia seems to be off. River Federation is also not doing much. Our Arcturian Kingdom actually formed. Yeah, the world's pretty peaceful in the northern half. And it will be peaceful when I'm done with it down here. Just forget about the millions of casualties. Alright, so that's that. And that's basically as hard as it'll be. I'm sure everything else will just be a steamroll after that. You know, could take out all the other nations and a bit cleaner borders, but given the length of time it takes to justify now, it'd be a bit hard. And I could just open up the console and type no CB, but you know, don't really feel like doing that. And so, with all of that territory, we've got only 1/5 of a million garrisoning it, and obviously with it being a late game, and I've got like so many factories and just an insane amount of supplies, it doesn't really matter. No, scraping the barrel, and we've got only 300,000 left. But yeah, that was fun, and yeah, I'll look forward to actually playing Zebrica the way it was intended to. Oh my, who's this? A Rockstar? Yeah, look forward to actually playing as one of the nations.